So many childhood memories started from this. My mum would spend hours simmering her stock until perfection so she could use it for her soups, mum for her noodle soups, and dad for his sauces. Now let me show you Mama's tips and tricks so you can make it with your family.
Mama về食飯，媽咪爹哋食飯，ba mẹ ăn cơm.
Hi, I'm Jeanette, and here at Wok and Kin, I share my childhood recipes so you can reconnect with yours. For today's recipe, we're making a stock that'll become the base for many family recipes to come. To start, you'll need a large pot, and when I say large, I mean it needs to be deep enough that you can fill it with lots of water, chicken and pork. We've had ours for over 20 years and it's still going strong. For the meat, Mama likes to use a slab of lean pork because it's cheap and meaty enough to deepen the broth's flavour. You can get them already cut into thick pieces from the butcher, but if you can't find it, then any piece of meaty pork will do. Sometimes Mama will halve it so it cooks faster in the stock. Next is the chicken carcass. It's a really affordable way to add chicken essence to your soups because it has tons of flavour from the bones. It's relatively thin, so it'll cook down much faster than other stock ingredients and you'll be able to scoop them out fairly easily. If you ever wondered how chicken carcasses are made at the butcher's, just know that when you buy different parts like breast, thigh or wings, they're first removed from the whole chicken itself. The parts are cut off and placed in a refrigerated section for you to buy. What's left is the carcass, which we won't waste if we're using it for soups. Another classic ingredient is an old hen. We get them from the butcher and ask that they cut it into quarters so we can fit it easily into our pot. You'll find that the meat on these hens are tougher but full of flavour, which is perfect for simmering into a stock. They're sold frozen, which will thaw as we simmer it in water. Pork bones are another option. We often add these to our weekend noodle soups because you get extra flavour from the bone marrow and a natural sweetness from the meat. Mama's first secret: double boil the stock. Fill up your pot with cool water. So long as the water covers most of the bones and meat in the pot, it's enough. Put the lid on and let it come to a boil. When boiling, add the meat and bones in. You'll notice straight away that there are impurities floating at the top. This is exactly why we do our first boil, to remove the scum. Then, on the second boil, it'll be much clearer. Let it come back to a boil, then take it off the heat and pour the contents out. We use a washed sink, but you can use a large bowl if you prefer. Let cool water run over the cooked meat and bones. Meanwhile, clean the pot and fill it back up with 7.5 litres of water and bring that to a boil while you clean the meat and bones. Just note that if you want a more concentrated stock, use a higher meat to water ratio, meaning less water and more meat and bones. Mama always washes the meat thoroughly. Use your hands to wipe off any impurities and pull out any loose parts that could end up floating in the stock. Find all the nooks and crannies that might be missed and clean them through. Mama also has this wonderful trick to clean the bones. She'll get 2 pork bones and rub the flat parts of the bones together so they work together to scrape off the impurities and smooth out the surface. It works like a charm. When they're clean, put them straight into the new pot of boiling water. You'll notice that there's much less scum floating, which is why Mama always double boils her stocks. There'll still be some bubbles and scum, but you can scoop them away every 30 minutes or so. As soon as the broth boils, immediately turn down the heat to medium-low. You never want the stock to boil rapidly because that will make it murky and far from clear. Put the lid partially on, then let it simmer for a minimum of 3 hours. After 3 hours, the bones and meat will have softened. To check, Mama uses a chopstick to poke it through. If it slides in easily, then it's ready. If you want extra flavour, let it simmer overnight or turn the heat off just before you go to bed and turn it back on as soon as you wake up. The longer it simmers, the more concentrated the broth becomes. Set a colander over a large bowl next to the pot and use a slotted spoon to scoop out all the meat and bones into the colander. The large bowl underneath will catch all the liquid running through the colander. When you've scooped everything out, you can either discard the cooked bones or do what we do sometimes with the incredibly tender meat. Whenever Dad has his friends over, right when we're about to finish making a stock, we'd set the meat in front of them with some soy sauce and they'd nibble at it with some beer. Also, don't waste the precious liquid under the colander, pour it straight back into the pot. And there you have it, Mama's tips and tricks to her chicken and pork stock. It's the start of every weeknight soup, the base of every noodle soup, and a great way to add flavour to savoury sauces. You can find the full written recipe on our family blog, woknkin.com, where we share step-by-step instructions so you can cook at your own pace. If you want to find out how to use your stock straight away for a sauce, check out Mama's braised chicken wings and mushrooms recipe.